Hi there, welcome to TAM Studios. My name is Santos Bandari and I am a technical account manager based out of Sydney. Today's feature review is on Audit SAML authentications. If you are interested to know more, please follow along. SAML authentication attempts are now recorded in audit logs to help with troubleshooting and security analysis. Previously, audit logs only recorded authentication attempts for native Genesys Cloud logins. This change ensures logging consistency for both native and SAML authentications. As in the case of native authentications, SAML authentication failures can be viewed via Audit Viewer, which uses the real-time API, whereas successful SAML authentications can be viewed through API interface, which is configured for Async API. The action catalog in the Developer Center has been updated to include the associated entity and action details. So how do we get those successful and unsuccessful login events? For these demonstrations, I'm going to show you two different events, one successful login and one unsuccessful login. So for the successful login, I'm going to log in here. So I'll select Microsoft. Now you saw that this user has been successfully authenticated and now can access Genesys Cloud. This was the successful event. So let's try the unsuccessful event. So I'm going to log this user out. To demonstrate the unsuccessful events, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in using the Microsoft account of the user who doesn't exist in Genesys Cloud. So let's go to the Genesys Cloud login page. I'll select TAM AP Southeast 2. Let's select Microsoft. So it's this user, SAML test, doesn't belong to Genesys Cloud, but can still log in Microsoft since they exist in Microsoft account, but will be unsuccessful logging back to Genesys. So let's type in the password. Now you saw this error. This person couldn't log into Genesys Cloud because this person doesn't exist in Genesys Cloud. So this is unsuccessful event. Now with this release, we can report on successful and unsuccessful events. So let's go and have a look at the Audit Viewer. So here I am in Genesys Cloud UI and I'll search for Audit Viewer. I'll go to the Audit Viewer and now you can see there is entity type single sign-on and action is authentication failed. With this release, this is now logged into the Audit Viewer. Now we can see the failed authenticated attempt. But how about the successful attempt? As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and it's also mentioned in the Resource Center article attached below, successful event can only be viewed via Async API. So how does that work? Let's go and have a look. Okay, so how to view the successful attempt? So for that, we need to come to the Developer Center, developer.genesys.cloud/devapps API Explorer. And first, we need to make a query here. So in this query, we just need to give this interval first. In our case, the interval is from today, which is 2025, July 25th, from midnight to, so today's midnight. So the people permissions, and we're going to do the Audit SAML authentications and filter. We want to see the successful authentication. So let me run this request. I'm able to successfully run this request, and now I got this ID. So let me copy this ID, and based on this ID, I'm going to see the result. So let me just paste that ID here and run this again. Now you see, I'm able to see all those successful attempts. So user SSO success, And there was another user SSO success around that time. And I can see more. Yeah, so this is how you can actually audit who actually logged in using the SSO. So just to give a quick recap, now the SAML authentication can be logged whether it's successful or unsuccessful. Unsuccessful SAML authentications logging can be viewed via Audit Viewer in the Genesys Cloud UI. Whereas for successful login attempt, you'll need to run the API query. I just showed you how to run the API query in this video. I hope this video is very helpful for you to understand how SAML authentication logging works. If you have any questions or need further clarifications, please feel free to comment below or send us email at tamstudios@genesys.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.